Hey everyone. Happy Taco Tuesday. Hope you're all having a great day and have good weather where you're at. Hey Stella. Waiting for some people to get into the room. Excited to do this webinar today. It's a brand new one, how to transition to online sales. Hey Sean, hey Tony. Happy 421. That's a good one. Hey Suanne. I gotta call you back. We got cut off earlier, and then I totally don't know what happened. So I gotta call you back later. So thanks everyone for getting together today. Just a few housekeeping things. Oh, hey Lisa, we've never been here before. Hey Penny. Um, as I go along and do this webinar today and you're sending chat messages, they're about 10 seconds behind from when they pop up on the screen. It allows Wes Green, our moderator, to moderate in case anyone says anything inappropriate in the chat. That's why there's a delay. So, oh, hey, Lee. Snowing. Wow, it's really hot here, and I have the weirdest tan ever from taking so many walks. I got like my Apple Watch on, and I got like this really bad tan line because all I've been doing is walking lately. I'll just show you guys that. It's a little crazy. Hey, Allison, welcome, welcome. Some new people in here. That's awesome. All right, so let's get started, guys. So today's all about the transition to online sales. And this is a brand new webinar for me, so it's not one that I've done a bunch of times. So it's going to be a little, I might have little stumbles going through. It might not be perfect, but I'm going to try to keep you entertained and give you lots of awesome information that you can use. So through this next maybe hour, I'll be maybe an hour max. It'll take me to get through all of this. I haven't, why online? And I just wanted to summarize it here right now pertaining to what we're thinking about and what we're all going through right now, which obviously is we don't want the paper forms and the manual processes. There's more things people have to touch. Also, for times like this, where we're not able to be proactive and out there in the traditional event environment, selling to people on site, we can extend the sales year round no matter what happens. Whether things get canceled or what, as long as you have those images and you have, oh, is the screen frozen? It should be on this right now. Sean, do you see it? Should be okay. Let me know if I'm good before I go any further. And I'm gonna maybe I'll make my little box smaller here so I'm not taking up so much of the screen. I'll be down here in the corner. You have to squint to see me if you have a small monitor. So awesome. So extend your sales year round, no matter what happens, what's going on out there, even if you can't get out to do the event as long to proof or resell those images. If they're online, you have to, you're able to sell year round. And then obviously this is an obvious one, less office staff, be lean, let technology do a lot of those tasks for you. So you're not having to do all these things manually or have staff to do so. Use your resources, see what's out there to help you be lean as possible. And then as well as it frees up all that time when you have things online to focus on other proactive tasks like communicating with your customers, planning out new marketing, resource planning, and being spend less time being reactive to the situation, the piles of paperwork, the image and the data association, all that stuff. So those are all the important points of, just going online. And what I wanted to share with you today is our secret recipe on how to do that. So there's a top secret recipe. I feel like this has been in the making. When we first started with Photo Day and this whole concept and idea 3 years ago, we didn't really know what that recipe was. We just know we knew the end result. We knew what we wanted to achieve with our product and our technology, which was a simpler way to deliver Picture Day to today's parents. So we knew the end product. We just didn't know all the ingredients we needed to add to get there. And today, I think we've been through enough seasons. We've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of events and thousands of customer feedback to where we're able to really figure out what's worked, what hasn't worked. And today, that's what I'm sharing. I'm sharing with you that top secret recipe on what makes online in the volume environment very successful, which a lot of people have been trying to figure out for a lot of years. So basically, here are the ingredients. It's equal parts here, guys. It's 1 part images, 1 part communication. So, and what that means is, when you take things online, you're no longer selling those products first, like on a printed order form or in a prepay web cart environment. You're no longer selling those products first. You're selling the images, and you're selling, in order to sell those images, you have to communicate. So this webinar today is not so much about the image part, because we have a lot of resources and upcoming education on that. It's more about the communication. So there's really two secret ingredients to selling online. The images, both you have to have great images that mom and dad cannot take with their cell phones. And in order to help you with that, we have launched Photo Day Academy. So for those of you who haven't checked out Academy yet, it's right there in your studio panel. So when you go and log into your studio panel, you go right into Academy. And we have Jay Boatwright, our Director of Education, who is a phenomenal volume photographer and just doing things that people said weren't possible in the volume environment. And he's teaching and sharing his knowledge in Photo Day Academy to help you with your images. And we have our Trailblazer talks in there that help you with different things. Brian Durinsky over the last 2 weeks just did a great Trailblazer talk on lighting and compositing for those extracted, composited custom creations, which I thought was really amazing. So yeah, no matter how you photograph or how you create your images, whether it's traditional like Jay or composited like Brian, we're loading you up with all the educational resources regarding images. That's the first main ingredient on your recipe, is that creation of images so you can be successful online. So communication, that is what we're going to dive into today. So today is all about the communication part. I think it's the part that, just from my experience coming from a volume background, it's one of the ones that I struggled with personally, because when converting to online, everything changes. Everything changes in the way we communicate and how we structure our picture day and how we talk to our customers. And when I say customers, it's not the leagues or the school, it's the parents. And before, in the traditional environment, you're relying on this piece of paper, this order form that gets passed out, delivered, or your table people at the event, or however you're executing picture day, but it's on this paper form. Well, online, there's no more paper form. So you can't really replace the paper form with another form that just says to go online, because that's not really effective. And plus they lose it and they never go back and they don't remind them. So that is why building out this marketing strategy, this communication, is so very important with moving online, so you can see the same success with other people. So what I'm sharing today is a recipe, but it's not something that we at Photo Day created. It's something that was collectively created by all of our users with a lot of trials and errors over the last couple of years and transitioning their volume online. We helped streamline it. We helped build the technology to power behind it. And that is what I'm sharing with you guys today. So hopefully this is exciting for you. So we're going to dive in to the instructions. So first things first, it's all about preparation. Now, there's always cases where you're not going to be able to prepare. Something falls on your lap last minute. Something goes wrong. Maybe you were planning to do paper forms on this one event, but something fell through and you couldn't get them printed in time and you just want to pick up and do photo day. So there's always going to be those straggler cases, and we completely understand that. And that is why this recipe is completely flexible. So another thing, I'm going to go over a lot of content here. So I wanted to point out to you guys that we are also creating a blog post with a lot of this content too. So for those of you who are more readers that want to follow step by step versus watching the video, you will have the ability to do both. So as we go through this today, just, if I know I talk fast and it's a lot of content to get through, but just know these resources will be available to you in the Photo Day Academy portion of your studio panel and on our blog for you to access later as well. So the marketing kit. If you don't already know, Photo Day has the marketing kit available in the resources section of your studio panel. And here, when we say prepare for Photo Day, it depends on what type of Photo Day, right? It really depends on if parents are going to be there or if they're not going to be there. So those are the two main factors right there. But we have supplied with you so many resources here to market that communication out to parents. So alongside of our marketing flyers that are in the jobs, which I'll talk about shortly, we also have these resources, these banners, posters, reminder cards, and social graphics. So in the world of marketing, it's not just a one and done thing with this communication. It's not just, I asked the league, they sent an email, and that was the communication, and now I'm going to show up on picture day. It needs to be proactive, which means you have to do as many touches as possible before and during picture day to get the ultimate end results. So, and then those communications shouldn't just be go here and buy pictures, go here and buy pictures, go here and buy pictures, because that's not going to convert anyone to sale, right? So we have to get the messaging alongside of the different channels, because people, consumers in general, absorb information in all different ways. So in order to maximize, we have to have the right information out there in all different ways. Some people are visual, some people need to watch a video. Some people want to read it on their phone. Some people want to read it on a piece of paper. So, you know, the more touches that you have, the better chance you're going to have with participation. So here, we'll talk a little bit about the banner. The banner is something that you can hang up at the event, during the event, or prior to the event, that prompts them to text the access code to communicate with you. The posters are something that can be hung up in a daycare center as parents are picking up their children and they see that picture day, they pull out their phones and they text the code to get information. The reminder cards are something that are inexpensive and cheap to be printed, branded for your studio. They can keep in your pocket if you're doing something on site like action or a league day, and you can hand it to people so they have information, especially if you're shorthanded at that event and you don't have a table person there helping you get people to text the opt-in code. And then you have the social graphic. And, you know, I always recommend putting that out there. If you don't feel comfortable putting it out there, ask the league to put it out there, ask the school to put it out there for you, for them to text the opt-in code to get information about picture day. But all of those things should be happening prior to picture day. So you're spreading the word in all the different channels, you know, and we go over this in a communications blog post we have that gives you some ideas on how to ask the right questions to get the information so you can communicate effectively. So Wes, if you pull up that communications blog post for me and just stick it in here, that way people have it to bookmark or reference later. But that's a great post that talks about asking those right questions. So first things first, this is a good strategy. I see this strategy being used a lot. This is the main strategy that I'm gonna share today. So it's gonna always start with advance pay. So you have to make sure you have a really good understanding about advance pay, because it's not prepay. It's not prepay in the world of like asking somebody to pre-commit to a package that you haven't done the images for yet. And it doesn't really make sense. So that's why we made advance pay with Photo Day, and advance pay is new in the volume world. I mean, it was being used a little bit, not called advance pay, but like maybe in the world of dance photography, where studios would collect a small deposit per costume that they can apply to an order. But it really hasn't been used, or even in like maybe like mini sessions or things like that, family portrait sessions. But we're bringing it to volume because it gets skin in the game and it starts the sales cycle early. Thank you, Wes, for that post. So advance pay is really important, and it's a gallery status. So what that means is when you set up your gallery, it's automatically in draft. When you attach a credit sheet and switch it to advance pay, the sales begin. That means everyone that visits that gallery prior to picture day, or even on picture day, or up until you publish the photos, is going to be entered into the sales cycle to start purchasing from you. And why not sell as soon as you can? So with advance pay, for your first event, I always recommend keeping it simple and then adjusting how according to feedback. And there's going to be a lot of that in this presentation. So with advance pay, set your minimum order. So if you're doing like a football or a cheer league or something that you know you're averaging like good on, like $35, $40 or $25 to $30, whatever your average order is in the past from those types of events, make that your advance payment amount on the credit sheet so they can pre-buy the $35 in advance. Now, if you incentivize advance pay, which you can in Photo Day, there's two things. So on my example here, I'm showing free shipping by purchasing an advance pay credit. If they pre-commit to $35 in advance of the event, they're going to get, and they make that payment, they will get a coupon code for free shipping. Now, the free shipping is paid for by you, the studio, but it can be worked in to your prices of your packages. Just inflate it a little bit to cover costs, because you don't want to use this and cut into your profits here. So that's always important to note. So in the world of marketing, nothing's really free. We just make it appear free, right? So here on the advance pay credit, there's one credit for $35. The offer code that I set Here is free shipping off orders 35 or more. It makes sense to the customer. It's not confusing. Now, one of the things, and the reason I say this is because sometimes I see people doing like a percentage, like, or a dollar amount, get $5 off if you buy a $35 advance payment. What that does is it can confuse your customers, especially if the wording wasn't done right, the proper marketing, or they're very new to the system, or maybe your staff there isn't familiar with it. And they're going to think, how come I'm not getting $5 off when I buy my $35 credit? Or how come I'm not getting 10% off? That's why I always suggest starting with a free shipping so you get knowledgeable. Once you're knowledgeable, once you train your organizations and your customers, this will pick up and you can do different things with it. But it's a new concept, so I suggest keeping it simple for your first one, just sticking with the free shipping on orders $35 or more, setting that credit for $35. It just makes sense, and it's really easy to get them to incentivize them. Now, I've seen studios swing it different ways. Stella's here today. Stella requires an advance payment in order for her to photograph the athlete. So you can do it either way. You can require it and not incentivize it at all, or you can make it optional and incentivize it and spread the word for people to make the advance payment. It really depends on what you want to do with your customers and what your market is accustomed to, or what, the direction you want to go to as a studio. So I don't want to tell you how to do things, but I do see things done different ways. This is just my suggestion for the easiest way to get there. So make sure you set your offer minimum the same as whatever your credit is if you are incentivizing that. And again, I always suggest just selling a single credit to start with to make it as less confusing for everyone, for you, for them, for everyone involved. So, and this is an example of a flyer, the Picture Day flyer that's in the marketing section that gets generated automatically for you with all that information, in case you guys don't know about that. So the next thing we're going to do on Picture Day, we're going to create the sense of urgency by saying they get the best price if they order in the first 2 to 3 weeks. I like to say 14 days just because online has like this 30-day sales cycle from start to finish. And we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go. All these communications play in. So on Picture Day, leading up to Picture Day, on the collateral that you produce, you want to tell them they're going to get the best pricing if they place their order in the first 14 days. If they make a prepayment, if they make that advance payment, they also get free shipping. So the trend here is save, save, save. Put the skin in the game, order soon, get the most bang for your buck, right? We're giving them the best value and steering them and telling the story of where we want our customer purchases to go. And that's an important part of online marketing and building that online marketing strategy. So the best price series is something that we do for you guys that's scheduled with us in the bubble. This is just an example of what we do to expire the best pricing. It's very friendly. We're not going to go after them in a negative way, saying, hey, we're going to increase prices in 3 weeks, because that you don't want to do anything negative in the world of marketing. You want to make everything an incentive and everything positive. Like, hey, we're going to expire this best price, so just 1 more week to get the best price on your photos. And then this is a countdown series. So with the text marketing photo day, when you collect those opt-ins with the advance payment or with telling them to text to opt-in to see their photos, they're going to be able to receive these custom texts to drive them to checkout. And that's not just for our auto text, what I'll get into next. So another really great strategy that we strongly, strongly suggest is the social sharing downloads. Now, in Photo Day, you can sell both high-res downloads and the social sharing downloads. We actually started with high-res and low-res when we first came out with Photo Day. And low-res was very confusing to not just a lot of studios, but also to the end customer, because when you try to sell both high-res and low-res downloads together as separate products, a lot of customers will immediately flock to the lower priced item because it's very similar. They don't understand that it doesn't come with a print release, or they don't understand why it's blurry when they try to print it. And this is just part of consumer education on a new product for a fairly new industry in volume photography. So with social sharing downloads, we in turn say, give them away for free as an incentive. Use them as a marketing tool. And this is what we suggest here. So if think about this. As a parent, if you make your $35 commitment, you will get free shipping. If you order within the first couple weeks, you will get the best pricing. And if you order within the first 2 days, you get a free social sharing download with any package purchase. So you are excited about your plan. You've got your plan carved out. It's on your collateral leading up to picture day, and you're getting people excited to save the most money and order sooner, right? And it doesn't cost you a lot. It doesn't cost you a lot. Plus that skin in the game, that $35 they pay the week or two before versus after you publish, after picture day, maybe a week after you publish. They're applying it to even larger orders because you're creating the first ingredient in the secret recipe, which is amazing images, and you're offering them a variety. So this is where you're really gonna reap in those PD 100s. And I just let out a teaser. So over here, in order how to offer those free social sharing downloads is it's really simple. It's just a 3-step process. You just duplicate your existing price sheet, you add the download to each package, and you just update that package description so it tells them that they're getting the free social sharing download in that package. So it's priced, you keep your package pricing the same, but this kind of gives you a walkthrough on how to achieve that and then how to communicate it. So you're gonna have to communicate it on picture day, leading up to picture day on their collateral, all the perks they get from you, right? But we can also, you can reach out to us in the bubble and coordinate us for publishing. And we can also send a text message out that follows your published text that incentivizes, gives them the incentive and tells them about the free social sharing download that's available. So you can coordinate that with us as well. So even if you're doing, and I know this is a lot, guys, but even if you're doing a lot of leads, a lot of leads, which I'm going to hope and pray that happens really soon for all of us. But even if that's happening and you have all these steps involved, it's actually very easy because you only need the one price sheet for the social sharing downloads and the one without it. You don't have to create a separate price sheet for every single job. It's just a mattering of switching it out on the jobs that you have. And it's actually not that hard to manage the way we have it right now. So this is just an example. When you hit the publish status on your job, it's going to send out that text, and then you coordinate with us in the bubble before you hit the publish so we can go ahead and send that 48 hours only text out for you so they make their purchases knowing that they're going to get that free social sharing download. And all you have to do is make sure that that price sheet is connected to that gallery at the time. At the end of 48 hours, you just swap it out to your original price sheet and it all goes away and the special is over. So that's a great way to incentivize those sales the first 2 days that the gallery is on sale. So once that happens, the gallery is going to be on sale, right? You take your social download special away after the first 2 days, and now your gallery is on sale. With this marketing strategy, expect about 50% of your sales to happen in the first 2 weeks. We've run numerous reports, looked at a lot of jobs with this strategy, and that's about where you were. So when you're transitioning online, if you've never done this before, do not be discouraged your first week. Don't even be discouraged your second week because you're not all the way there. There's more to the strategy, and it's a 30-day sales cycle when transitioning your business online. So we're in the world of paper forms where, let's just compare it really quick. In the world of paper forms where you went out and pictured in, you got all your money and you got all your orders on day one. But now you got to process all those orders and cash all those checks and go to the bank for all that stuff and process all the credit cards and get all your orders over to the lab and get them back and get them delivered, all that stuff. That takes about 3 to 4 weeks by the time it's all done, especially when you're cranking in season. You might have the first few done really quick, but after you start piling on those miscellaneous orders and those what just happened things, it gets behind every season. I've been there many years with many studios, but so expect that 30-day sales cycle. It kind of compares online, except for you don't have all that stress after the gallery is published. That's all gone because the orders are being submitted and the money's coming in and you don't have to worry about it. So those 50% of the sales is going to happen those first 2 weeks. And then after that is when during this is when our auto SMS takes over. Now, this is something you don't schedule. This is something that happens automatically with Photo Day. So when you publish a job, they're going to get that text they showed you with the galleries now on sale. And if you requested and coordinated with us for the social sharing download, they will get that as well. Now, On the auto SMS, these go out at day 3, day 5, day 7, day 14, and day 30. So there are 5 automatically scheduled SMSs that are timed. They only deploy to customers who have not made a purchase yet. So if somebody purchased in the first 48 hours and they took advantage of that social sharing download, they're not going to get all these automated texts. It's only going to go out on day 3, day 5, day 7, day 14, and day 30, or until they make a purchase. So we're not going to keep blowing up their phones, telling them to go back when they already bought. So Photoday is smart enough to know that, and it's not going to spam them. So it's just going to continuously bring those people like me that have kids and a million things going on, and I forget what I'm doing because I'm shopping online and I get distracted. It's going to bring people like me back to the cart over and over until I finally check out, because I am a procrastinator. So I am a mom. I have 2 elementary school age kids. My life is crazy all the time, especially with this quarantine. And that is what it's going to help you do, is continuously drive them back to the cart. It's one of the big benefits of Photoday. So now, between day 14 and day 30, that's when we're going to expire best pricing. That's when, because there's no auto SMS going out for 40 days. So in that time frame, we are here to support you, especially your first couple jobs going through. We are here to support you. If you can't answer questions that your customers are asking, feel free to, we're right there in the bubble. Pass it to us, ask us questions. We can even support your customer if you get a tough cookie and they're stuck or something's confusing. We can help you sort that out with them. We are here to support you guys all the time and make your transition to online very, very painless. So we want it to be great for you. We want to support you and give you all the strategies that you need. So just know we're always here for you in the bubble. This is also where you reach out for us about those custom SMS campaigns, and we are going to be able to help you with those. So after the day 14 text deploys, this is when you want to expire your best pricing. So we talked about in the beginning, we wanted to make parents know ahead of time that they're gonna have to order in the first 2 weeks to get the best price, right? So when that last reminder text goes out, there's not gonna be another one automatically between day 14 and day 30. Now it's up to you. So this is the strategy that we've come up with that really, really helps drive sales. So at between day 14 and day 30, you want to deploy the Expire Best Pricing series. Now, we don't really ever recommend expiring a gallery. So that was one of the things early on in Photoday. Even with online sales, it was a thing to expire gallery and say the pictures are gone forever if you don't order by this date. What we discovered, and by listening to customer feedback and listening to our studios, was that it was really unnecessary to do that, and it was really negative to do that. And at Photoday, we always wanted to be in favor of the customer, because if your customers are happy, then everyone's happy. They're buying your business. We're standing behind your brand, bringing them the top-notch customer service and products that they want. So we didn't want to be negative. So expiring the best pricing is the next best thing to expiring your gallery, because it does create the sense of urgency. It does get the procrastinators up and ordering. And it's a 3-part series. It goes out a week before, and then 3 days left. And then the next day, hurry up and get them, because tomorrow the low prices are gone. And people want to get the lowest price. So they do act on this. And some people even skim over this and read it, and they think that oh my gosh, the gallery is expiring, even though, because it's out of habit, right? Because they're used to that gallery expiring thing. So by expiring the best pricing, we're achieving the best of both worlds. We're keeping the gallery up. Now it's up to you to inflate your prices. If you want to inflate your prices by 10%, by $5 a package, whatever you do, get rid of the savings, you can do that there. What also is very, this is very useful for, is if you're writing commission checks. So if you have a league or a school that you need to deliver a commission to, you can do this. And instead of expiring your best pricing, you can expire the picture day as a fundraiser. So they have to place their orders by this date to support their league or their school or their organization. You can do both. We have both in our custom text series. So that way you have a hard date. You follow through with your contact at the organization, say, hey, all the orders have to be in by this date for commissions. They can help you push the message out as well. The same for Photoday's text messaging feature to help them with that. You guys are super quiet. You can ask me questions. I hope this is good stuff. Like, you have to give me some feedback along the way. I don't want to like put you to sleep here. I know it's lunchtime for some of us or brunch time for West Coasters. So now what do? 2 weeks have gone by. I expired my best pricing. This is where you kind of sit back and watch those PD 100s happen. So props to all you guys sharing in our users group about the PD 100s. If you don't know about PD 100s, this was something that was created by our users, the hashtag PD 100. So it's all about like sharing those really big purchases in the world of volume photography, where like the order averages for soccer on paper forms used to be what, 21, 24 bucks. Yeah, you're there too. Thanks, Rigdons. So, but where what it used to be soccer between 21 and $24 depending on the league. And in photo day, I see soccer leagues like they almost spawn themselves in the two leagues because the order averages are like $39 to $45 depending on the league and the amount of images the studio is offering. They're huge, and that to me is really exciting. So sharing the PD 100s and what they're ordering, and just sharing that, because there's still a lot of people out there that are like, I'm not real sure if this is going to work for me, and they're still getting those $20 orders on paper forms with all those processes. And I'm like, no guys, like, this is possible. Get out there, be creative, do what you love doing. The part of this whole business you love doing the most is the photography, right? I mean, that's why you're a photographer. So the system allows you to focus on that, create those images and sell them and get your worth out of it, instead of doing it in the prepay environment, which is really awesome. So so all the PD 100s are really exciting, and we've seen some pretty big orders of parents, and even the feedback saying that we would have never ordered this on paper forms. Like, look at all these products, y'all are gonna make me go broke. All this feedback we hear coming in on the survey. So that's pretty inspiring as well. So the people that want to spend are able to spend. So the PD 100s are an exciting point. So focus on that between your second and third week. Look at that, because that's going to give you the drive. Because right now, that sales cycle is 30 days. So it's going to take you there. So you got to look. Thanks, Larry. So you got to look at all those pieces of the puzzle. So also what you should do as this is cranking, especially with your first job, or maybe if you've already tried some jobs and you weren't quite successful because it was right before this whole pandemic happened. So, but I mean, review that boost your buy rates checklist. That is in your resource panel under support and under boost your buy rates. This is a comprehensive checklist that we have made where we have studied every single part of every single job to know what you need to look for in case your buy rates aren't there. And that's the buy rates, like converting your customers from that view to that purchase. So it's not participation. It's not getting people to participate in Photo Day. This is getting the people that did participate to actually go through checkout, right? So there's a lot of factors involved, and this is kind of like a cross your T's and dot your I's thing where you can go through each segment. We categorize it here to make sure that you're optimized here for checkout. So this part is, I always think, a big learning experience. It was a learning experience creating all the education behind it, because we're really trying to dive in deep to our target demographic and see, like, get inside their mind and figure out what they want and how to get these images in front of them and get them to convert to sales. So that's everything that I'm sharing here with you guys. So also, another thing that you need, and this is something you can do right now, is create a demo gallery for your studio. So if you don't have one yet, to show off to new contacts, to show off to your staff, this is a really important thing. Having a demo gallery does so many different things for you guys, especially if you're new to Photo Day. I mean, I'm not going to name names, but I was talking to a Photo Day user. This is probably like 6 or 7 months ago now. And he has had quite a bit of orders come through Photo Day. And we're talking on the phone, and he's like not understanding a support question from a customer. And I'm like, "But have you ever done this before?" And he's like, "No, I've never placed an order with Photo Day." I'm like, "Dude, you have sold thousands of orders through Photo Day. You've never tried it yourself?" He goes, "No, parents are doing that." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So like, really, really create that demo gallery, because it does a couple things. You can pass it to your staff so that, especially if you got table people out on a live event, or people answering your phones and helping support the customers, you're going to want to make sure that they are confident and knowledgeable when it comes to the service, because you're going to get questions and you don't want them to feel like stumped on the phone. So having that demo gallery so they can try it out for themselves and just walk people through it and learn it, and as well as for you too. But the other things that it does is you can put samples of your work in there, and you can be out somewhere talking to somebody, wherever, and they're like, oh, I'm a league director, and you're like, oh, cool, well, I'm a photographer and I got this really cool system and you should check it out. All you have to do is text this code to this number, like demo to 90738. And then he does that while you're standing in line at the grocery store chatting or whatever. And guess what? Now he knows your system. He has your contact information right there in the gallery. And you have his phone number back in your insights panel to go and follow up with later. So, it's a really great thing to have a demo care. It's like having your sales secret in your back pocket at all times, right on your phone. So have a demo gallery there. It's a great thing to set up, show off your work, show off the process, and get excited about what you're actually selling in this solution. So in about 30 days, after you guys follow these guidelines, you will have successfully transitioned your first job 100% online. And that is a really great accomplishment. It's also very scary in that 30 days. So I want to stress to you that we are always here to support you. But this strategy, I know it's a lot of information, but it's really just like a couple steps. As you can see, it's not overwhelming. And once you do one, it's like the back of your hand. You just keep doing it over and over again, and you get better and better at it. But the most important part of all of this, and I found this quote because it just really, really relates to everything we're doing with online, but it's like, yes, the marketing plan is important, but it's not as important as how you plan to invest in the happiness of your customers. And I think that's really important, because after you go through your first event, or maybe you've already done one, or you haven't even done one yet, you're gonna want to collect that feedback that you hear from customers. You're gonna have a lot of excited people. There's always a lot of excited customers at the first photo day event. I've been to numerous ones myself personally, because it was really fun at first to go to all these events and see how excited the parents are. But you're gonna also have those users that give you some very valuable feedback. And what I mean by that is you might have set up your price sheet, but then maybe your price sheet only has a pack of 2 digital downloads in a package. But you went on picture day and you did 6 poses or 6 looks for every single person. And then the gallery goes on sale, but they can only buy a pack of 2 downloads. You don't have a pack of 6 downloads for them. So you really want to make sure and you listen to that feedback. And the greatest thing about Photo Day is you can adjust stuff like that on the fly, and it's live for everyone. So if you get the feedback saying like, hey, I want to purchase more, or why don't you have a pack? I want to just purchase a bunch of 5x7s of everything. You can create those packages on the fly. And as soon as you modify that price sheet, it's live. It's live for them. So they can just pull down their app to refresh it or log back into the gallery, see those packages you just created, and check out. But your price sheet, what you start with today in your first event, is probably not going to be the price sheet you end up with after you master this online. You're always going to be like kind of tweaking it or modifying it according to that feedback, and as well as your flow too on picture day. So, this recipe that I just shared with you, it is easily modifiable. You can, set your advanced pay credit. If you don't want to do 35, start at 15, start at 25. It really depends on what you're comfortable with. And what your market can withhold, what your average order was before. If your average order with a league was only $20 in years prior and you want to go to Photo Day, don't make it $35. The parents are going to think that all of a sudden everything got really expensive and you're the same photographer. Make it $20 because they're used to giving you $20, and give them a chance on their own to spend and apply that $20 towards a larger purchase. That way you're not creating those negative emotions. So really look at what you were doing or what was happening before, and then take that and modify this recipe to make it super successful for you. So with all of that said, if you guys have any questions, you can start shouting them out. If you don't have any questions, I'm just going to go into talking about what we have upcoming here at Photo Day. So here's some live events we have coming up. This Thursday, we have Paul Duke. He's the weekend warrior. And a little bit about Paul's story is he actually came to our big photo day launch at Sing Sports back in the summer of 2018. And he saw us there, but he didn't really like talk to us at all. He scoped out the system. And then he kind of like got into our photo day Facebook users group. And he just kind of like sat back and watched things. We were really new. We just launched. And a few months goes by and he's like, you know what? I'm going to use it for my upcoming gymnastics event. And he's just a part-time photographer. He's a part-time studio. He only does this on the weekends. So he has a great story behind how he gets started in his success. But that he is going to share this Thursday. But he was super successful with his first event, and he's been very successful. And he does believe Photo Day is a tool that he can use to help make his weekend warrior job a lot easier. So he's going to share a lot of that on Thursday. And then this Friday, we kicked off Photo Day Weekly. So Photo Day Weekly is a Facebook Live event. You know what, Nancy? You have a great question there, like the coronavirus and parents not working. I'm nervous to ask for advance pay. Anyone feeling this way? Yes, I would not, unless you know that an event is happening. I hope you guys understand that this webinar is resources that I'm giving you to take into the future when things start to return to normal. Things to start thinking about. I don't suggest right now at all. We don't suggest as a company that you take advance payment unless this thing is, you know for sure your event's going to happen. So don't do that right now because you're going to end up refunding these people, and it's just not the right time to do it. But yeah, that is a good question, and thanks for bringing that up because that is not what we were suggesting at all. So this is meant for when things start returning to normal and you're wanting to transition this stuff online. So just wanted to make that clear. So on Friday, our Photo Day weeklies, that is going to be something that we do in the users group live, Facebook Live. So make sure you're in our Facebook users group so you can catch up with Photo Day Weekly. And we're sharing all the things we're working on, all the latest news about Photo Day. Last week, we had some teaser features that we're working on and about to launch with Richmond Pro Lab becoming a Photo Day Lab partner very soon, as well as custom themes and logos for your job. So there's all kinds of cool things in there. So Katie, that's a great question. Is there a lag time between order and printing so edits can be made? As of right now in the Photo Day world, the uploaded images have to be the printable images, like the final images that are being edited. So they should be final. We're trying to prevent that step, and that's because your parent is connected every step of the way to the order. So if there was like a lull in between, they get your order's been received, they're expecting it to ship right away, and it wouldn't because it's waiting on edits. So it's like, it doesn't really jive right now. Not to say that's never going to happen, but it's been a requested feature that we've had multiple times. It's just not there quite yet. But if you have concerns with editing your styles and how you're doing things, go ahead and reach out to us in the bubble. We have a lot of users that have converted that had those same concerns, that are doing different workflow techniques to really help them, that we can help you with depending on your situation. So reach us in the bubble and we'll be able to help you with that one. Or you can email me at lisa@photoday.io and I can look at this. So free taco coupons on Friday, yay! But you have to actually go and sit down in a restaurant to redeem them. And good luck with finding a restaurant right now. So let's see. And then next Tuesday, we have the Kick-Ass Marketing in an Online World. This was a presentation we brought to SPAC in January. So it goes over all the touch points of online marketing. A little less detail than what I went over today, but there's some useful information in there as well. Thanks, Tony. I'll talk to you later. So yeah, that's what we have upcoming here. So I'm just hanging around here for questions if you guys have any more. If not, I'll type my email in here. Let's see. And then you guys can always email me too, or you can reach us in the chat bubble as well. So yeah, and all these new stuff coming out for Photo Day Academy is going to be right there in your dashboard. There's the new tip of the week has already been uploaded, and that's using transmitters by Jay Boatwright. He's doing a lot of that photo education in there. It's really great. Like I said, if you guys haven't checked out his stuff, it's absolutely amazing. Sean, that's a great question. Publish any expired galleries. If I were you and you got expired galleries, I would publish them. And if they are new within the last 180 days, then I would do a flash sale to get those people that have opted in and haven't purchased yet back over and remind them. People, I shared this last week on Facebook Live. Let me look, I gotta look for my notes. Okay, so we ran these numbers when we did the Photo Day Weekly on Friday, but from January 1st to March 13th, the AOV, the average order value in all of Photo Day world was 40 bucks. Winter sports, that's about right? Winter sports, winter events. From March 14th to today, and that was last Friday, so not the next couple days after that, the average order value in all of Photo Day was $52. So what that told me is that the people buying during quarantine, the people that really want their photos that are shopping online right now, they're spending more money, enough to increase the Photo Day whole AOV $12. That's a lot. So if you have expired galleries, go ahead and publish them and hit us up in the bubble. If they're newer galleries, hit us up in the bubble. We'll do flash sales for you guys on those people who haven't purchased yet to help drive some sales for you guys. So the more opt-ins you have, the more jobs you have in Photo Day. It's a really good thing to help generate some revenue right now when times are tough. So Lee's question, high school individual team shoots, no parents, what are the best ways to collect phone numbers and emails? Lee, that is an excellent question. If you haven't checked out Brian's Trailblazer Talk, that's all he does a ton of high school sports successfully with Photo Day, and he goes over his marketing strategy there. It's right there in the Academy portion of your studio panel under programs Trailblazer Talks. Check out Brian's thing. He goes into detail on how he communicates with the parents, and he's getting excellent participation using his method in the world of high school sports photography. It's a great resource, but he has like a sticky folios landing page. He's sending out, the communication is the hardest part, like I said, because it's just because it's new. It's after you guys get used to the communication part, it's not hard anymore. So it's, when things are new, they're difficult. They're more difficult. They can be overwhelming, but now is the perfect time. We have this downtime right now. We're not running in 50,000 directions to figure out how to streamline that communication. So let's see, Stella, do you have information on your surveys about advance pay that you can share later? Stella, that is something that is on my hot list to work on. And I think what you're going at is you want to know the average order value for advance pay purchases versus non-advance pay purchases. If people are spending more on average versus when they do have that advance pay credit applied. I've run some per job reports and found that to be true, but I've not run that for all of Photo Day World yet to really see that, because there's so many different use cases. But I'll keep you posted on that. That's a great one to share. But yeah, we have to reach out via Bubble to ask to send it out for text. Yeah, Allison. So if you want to reactivate a gallery, when you if you expire a gallery, if it says expired with that black bar, and you republish it, there are no texts that go out. So the only texts that go out after you expire a published gallery is if it's still in the auto SMS series. Say you expired a gallery at day 14, but you reinstated it on day 29, they will get the day 30 text to remind them back, because it's still in that auto SMS series that goes off of the actual first published date. But if you're beyond the 30-day mark, or if they didn't have any advance pay credit purchases, because advance pay credit purchasers get a separate series of text messages as well as the auto SMS. They get a reminder at 30, 60, and 90 days if that gallery is still published that they have money in their account that they need to redeem towards pictures. So, but we can send out those flash sales for you and reminders on those galleries. So make sure you just ask us in the bubble. So Nancy, is it possible to send orders back to my studio to save on shipping? Nancy, not today, but you will be excited to find out that Photo Day is bringing bulk shipping to the table very, very soon. And very, very soon that will be possible. And bulk shipping would be the ability for you to set a date, an order deadline date, where customers get free shipping. It goes back to you, you deliver it. And then, or they would be able to choose to drop ship their order directly to them if they wanted it sooner. So it would be like an indoor situation, but that is coming to Photo Day and it is in the pipeline. We did show that off a little bit in January at the Photo Day experience, but it is something that is coming, especially we know how important that is for underclass, especially in the fall. Hopefully, I will hope and pray things will be back to normal by fall for all of us in this industry. So awesome. Confusion or completes. Great. Complaints. Yeah, I hear you, Stella. I'll look back through what I have and see if I can dig up any information for you on that. But I shared a lot of customer feedback during that 2019 survey, customer survey data in our Facebook group, on the Facebook Photo Day users group. I don't know if you saw that, but we did have like one situation where somebody complained that they didn't like the credits didn't really match the packages and then include shipping. So it seemed like a big confusion and miscommunication. And that was part of the beginning of this webinar where I was like, you know, make sure if you're not trying to match your advance pay amounts to your packages, because it's just really confusing to people. So yeah, but I'll look more through that, Stella, and see what I can dig out for you for sure. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining me today. I was excited to show you guys this webinar. I went through my notes, hope I did okay. And I hope you learned a lot. And Nancy, I don't have an exact date on the bulk shipping, but let me, I'll talk to the product team and see what I can find out for you on an estimate. The goal was to have it before fall season. I don't know where it's at right now, but I will check on that and get back to you. So the goal was to have it sometime this summer. So August is definitely included in that. Just could be beginning of August, end of August. I have no idea where it's at. So awesome, guys. Thank you for joining me today. I love it when you chime in and ask tons of questions. It makes it a lot easier than me just sitting here talking to myself on the webinar format. So thanks so much, guys. I hope you're staying safe, stay healthy, and hopefully you're being as productive as possible. I know I'm trying to. It's really hard sometimes. If anyone has beat Netflix and watched everything, just let me know, because I was really curious to see if anyone has beat Netflix yet and just watched every single thing there is to offer on Netflix. So, all right, guys. Thanks so much. Take care. Have a great rest of your week. I will see you on Friday if you join us on Photo Day Weekly. Bye.